When I think about the world of personal growth, wow, have I been thick in the trenches of it for a long time. I've probably read all the same self-help books as you. I've likely been to the same conventions, retreats, and summits. I've shaken hands with peyote, shaken my belly with tantra, and loosened my throat chakra with some pranic breathwork. I rebirthed my inner child, reiki'd my way to the fifth dimension, and used the purple light to reset my cellular clock. I practiced the art of simplifying my life, created my morning rituals, and sat through more than one seminar on how to achieve my personal best in under 90 days. And that's only in the last few years. My heart, like yours, is drawn to the unusual and the sublime. It's drawn to things that make us feel free or happier or both. It's drawn especially to practices and ways of thinking that help me discover my life in the universe through both energetic means as well as the practical, which ultimately helps me know myself a bit better. To know yourself is to love yourself. At least it should be. When I was in my 20s, I mailed a letter looking for work to a local personal growth publishing company housed in a boxy white warehouse by some scrubby canyons. I didn't know much about what they published other than that a famous author had founded it. At the time, where I lived, there were only 2 publishing companies big enough for anyone to have heard of. After all, it wasn't New York City. It came down to this publisher or the other one, who made children's picture books of stock photo zoo animals for the under 4 set. And I was a graphic designer and 20-something and hungry to break into the publishing big leagues. Toddler books weren't going to do it. So I asked the personal growth publisher, did they want me to lay out their books? And yes, they did. The answer was yes. You know those moments when a thread of fate seems to branch off onto that road of personal growth? It's nothing you'd notice in the beginning, just an opportunity. A new person you meet maybe, or that weird urge to try something new like baking with butterscotch instead of chocolate. You've heard of the butterfly effect. It's where one small change can lead to a vastly different outcome. The classic example of when the flapping of the butterfly's wings in Argentina can lead to rain in China. It's when a new, almost imperceptible wave of motion begins and the horizon in front of you shifts and suddenly you're going somewhere completely different. Then you realize you need to be a completely different person inside, too, if you actually want to reach that place. That's exactly what happened to me when I started my career in publishing. My life went in a completely new direction, and it was startlingly and unexpectedly beautiful. And then, the butterfly flapped its wings again about 10 years later, and that particular pivot became one of the most hellish periods in my life, when it felt like the world was cracking me open and dropping me like a runny egg with my gooey insides smashed all over.